Hello, my name is Isaiah Mann, and I am here to talk to you today about Glowlime Games, a student game development studio. This past semester, October through the spring, I founded Glowlime with the help of a team of 5 college students. Glowlime was an effort in collaboration and project management. We spent a bulk of the time in the semester getting started with infrastructure and figuring out how we were going to operate. And as you will see, this process is really the bulk of my 5 college digital humanities project. The infrastructure and the systems we arranged are at the heart of the work we did. So, first of all, who was involved in this project? I think it's really important to credit the whole management team and also the development teams who worked on the games themselves. So first of all here, you can see the management team, which spans the 5 colleges as well as community members. Obviously there's too many for me to read off one by one, but just wanted to give a quick moment of credit to them all. Next, flipping through, we can see each of the development teams. These were distinct teams working on distinct projects, who all brought them from a concept all the way to a playable demo. So now, the next question is, what do we do in Glowlime? First of all, we hosted and attended a variety of events. You can see here, we hosted workshops involved with cutting-edge technology, such as industry standards, Autodesk Fusion 360, and Unity 3D. We also attended the Mass Digi Games Challenge, which is a pitch event for video games. Next, we hosted talks with industry professionals such as Ryan Canuel, CEO of Petrichor Games. We also hosted the most key event to Glowlime, our pitch and interest meetings. This is a chance for students to come, learn about Glowlime, pitch games they're interested in working on, and network with fellow developers in the area. Finally, moving on to the projects, which were at the heart of the work that we did. Throughout the projects, I think we had a variety of interesting themes emerge: human experimentation, non-Euclidean geometry, parentification, conflict transformation, and an overarching theme of isolation that permeated many of the projects that were worked on this semester. First, we have Labyrinth, which was created by UMass student Mehdi Ahmed. It used the Oculus Rift virtual reality technology and featured a non-Euclidean maze, which changes as you go through it. I'll play a quick demo of that here. Next, we had Peace Superheroes, which was a collaboration with a team of global peace workers, working with their concept to create a game targeting ages 9 to 11 that taught conflict transformation through narrative and a diverse cast of characters. Next, we have The Experiment, a game pitched by Smith College student Sherilyn Lima. This game featured Tegan, a young boy trapped in an abandoned, foreboding science facility, and accompanied by nothing but a creepy headless cat named Tolstoy. Next, we have Winter Break, which was created by Hampshire College Division III student Noah Marcus. This also served as Noah's Division III project, creating one of the capstones of what I hope Glowlime to be in future. And finally, we have Lex the Wizard. This is the game that I personally worked on as producer. It was created by local community member and game developer Marcus Malucci. It features a young boy named Lex, whose home is destroyed, and who must wander the dangerous forests and wastelands, trying to find a new home and shelter for his family. The game featured mobile card games, which enhanced the narrative of the experience. Now, all these games are available on the web, most of them at Glowlime's website and Peace Superheroes at its own website. I encourage you after the presentation to go and check out these links themselves so you can see the work that the students did, and peruse some of the artwork and playable demos that we have to offer. Furthermore, Glowlime itself and its presence on the web were very important to us. We found that the forefront of what we were doing at Glowlime was on the web, and it was very important to present this in a way that was clear and engaging to our customer base, as well as other people who would see Glowlime on social media. We really tried throughout the semester to forefront the efforts, the projects we're working on, as well as new opportunities at Glowlime. So, the next part I'll get into is the process and how we did these things. One very key part, I think, is the software that we worked with. One tool is Slack, which is a messaging platform used for teams and professional communication. Slack's advantage over such social media as Facebook or text messaging is that it allows you to organize groups of people logically into teams, into interest groups, and into different projects. Next, we work with Trello, which is a project management software. It allows you to track tasks and the progress on them using a style of agile software development known as Kanban. We also used GitHub for the projects themselves. GitHub is a form of version control. This is a way that software developers can work with each other collaboratively and remotely, sharing software that they develop and getting the changes from other developers. And finally, and most importantly, we worked with Unity 3D, which is the engine that powers all 5 of the games I showed. This software is completely free and incredibly powerful, empowering young developers to create games they would never be able to otherwise. And of course, in addition to all these flexible and excellent softwares, we also had a huge amount of work from everyone involved. This included publicity, hours of work informing the development teams I showed a moment ago, weekly meetings with the team leads with our operations department, actively seeking funding to support the work that all teams were doing, and most importantly, creating the games themselves that you see. So, to get into a little more about me. First of all, I came up with Glowlime originally as a concept to work on a Division 3 game. I find that many Division 3 students seem to work more independently and without the resources of a full team. Personally, as a software developer, I have some of the skills entailed to make a video game, but there are many I lack, such as 3D art, music, writing, design, etc. So I thought it was very important to bring together people with a diverse range of skills so they could make more powerful and more complex games than they could any of them make individually. I was applying Mastigi's model, which is a non-profit organization serving entrepreneurship and game development throughout the New England area. They're based out of Becker College, and they work with teams of students over the course of semesters, encouraging them to work in a professional studio setting and simulating the demands and rigors of working in a game development studio. These were challenges and experiences I wanted to bring to the students in the Pioneer Valley, specifically here in the 5-college consortium. So my personal role was mostly based in management. I served in oversight, helping to seek funding, helping with our publicity efforts, our technical efforts such as our presence on the web, our operations, including how we coordinated between managers and how we assigned tasks to different members of management, and I also worked in project management on Lex the Wizard as mentioned before, as the producer of the project. So one of the important things I'll take away from this project is the concept of interdisciplinary collaboration. As I touched on before, one of the core motivators in forming Glowlime was bringing together people with different skill sets, however, all united by that common passion of game development. I think that when you bring together people across different disciplines, you get a diverse range of perspectives, but you also face some unique communication challenges. For example, a software engineer and a 3D artist speak a very different language. Their crafts both involve a unique vocabulary and a unique way of looking at the projects they create. And there can often be barriers and challenges that come with trying to translate the work that these people are doing into their respective mediums. However, I think it's also a unique feature of game development, of people with unique ranges of skills and specializing across a range of disciplines coming together into a single collaboration to produce a united project. Project management was also something I focused on a great deal, and something that emerged throughout the semester at Glen was the importance of infrastructure. When we started out, there was really nothing defined and we were working basically from scratch. So one of the efforts that we really pushed on throughout the semesters was trying to document carefully the process we were going through, the structures we were creating, and the overall shape of the organization. Other things that I looked at more specifically on the production side, on a specific game project, was the concept of individual motivations versus the direction of the team. Found that often the motivations of individuals could diverge wildly from the overall team's direction, but it was important to track all of these at once to get an overall idea of how they were affecting the direction and the motivation of the team itself. This speaks to, I think, one of the most important skills of project management, the idea of looking at the macro version versus the micro version of things, of being able to go in closely and look at levels of detail on an individual level, how individuals are handling tasks, how they're feeling about the project, whether they're getting proper levels of communication, and then zooming out to a macro level and looking overall at how the project is functioning and how all the team members are meshing and working together. So looking at the future of Glowlime for myself, one of the key things in my Division 3, which is coming up next year, is developing games. But another key part of this is continuing to develop Glowlime. I really want to leave behind a legacy, hopefully a sustainable organization that exists in the 5 College Consortium for years to come. We're already taking strides on this by bringing on managers of a younger year so they can succeed the older managers as they graduate. And for me personally, I hope to eventually graduate into a software engineering role in game development. So, thank you so much for listening. You can find me on the web here, and feel free to contact me via email with any questions or if you want a copy of the presentation.